Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you're watching. It's your boy RePPiN MiLLionS. Welcome back to another 7 days to Switch. We are only 5 days away until the launch of the Nintendo Switch, and I'm getting more excited and excited thinking about it. But today I want to talk to y'all about the Nintendo 64 era for me. Not for like everybody else, but for me. But if you have any thoughts and opinions you want to say about the Nintendo 64, what you loved about it, what was your favorite games, what you like doing with it, yada yada yada, etc., you know where to leave that at in the comment section below. But without further ado, RePPiN MiLLionS presents 7 Days to Switch Part 3, the legendary Nintendo 64. Now, why do I call it the legendary Nintendo 64? Because the game console proposed a lot of great games, man. A lot of great games. It might not have got Final Fantasy right at the time being, but it had some amazing games. It had GoldenEye 007, Super Smash Brothers, and it had Mario Kart 64, Super Mario 64, had Donkey Kong Country 64. It had excuse me, Quake. Believe it or not, it had Quake. It had Star Fox 64. It had Beatles Adventures Racing. It had Rally 2000. It had Turok 2 Seeds of Evil. It had Turok 3. Had Conquer, y'all. It had Conquer. And my favorite little game of all time, Army Man Sarge's Heroes 2 and Army Man Sarge's Heroes 1. I shouldn't have said that backwards, but you know what I mean. Army Man Sarge's Heroes 1 and 2. But needless to say, all those games I mentioned were some great games. You know, even the 007 GoldenEye. Oh my God. The game console produced so much games that were great and fun, and not to mention, you already know, it was in that era where graphics were supposed to look great at the time being. That's why it's called the Nintendo 64, because 64-bit, you know what I mean. And the graphics then were solid to us, and that's when Nintendo cared more about graphics, you know what I mean. At that time, they were trying to, you know, be number one with that, you know what I mean, because they were doing so well on the market at the time being anyway. So they had better graphics at the time being, and they also had great games with great gameplay. You see what I'm saying? So it worked together. And the prime of how this worked is, how this was in its prime, was because this was the first time the console you could ever play with more than just 2 players. You could play with up to 4 players. And the games that were on there, I remember going to my friends' houses all the time, playing Turok 2 Seeds of Evil, playing some good old GoldenEye 007, Army Man Sarge's Heroes, Beatles Adventures, the South Park video game, the South Park racing game, the Mickey Mouse racing game, Diddy Kong's racing, etc., etc. The list goes on and on and on. But all the games that were on there was so fun. If you talk to somebody who was born in that era and they'd be like, hey man, how's the Nintendo 64? If you never played it, they'll be like, man, let me tell you, man, because it was such an awesome console. And not to mention, it also introduced us to the rumble feature, which no other console had that at the time being. So when you played the game, you talking about when you were shooting your gun or something, or you were racing and you could feel the engine rev up a little bit. It wasn't the best rumble feature, but it was there at the time being. You thought it was amazing. You're like, oh my God, rumble. The rumble pack feels nice, blah, blah, blah. And at the time being too, they also had memory cards too, which was the first time they've ever done that. So instead of going into a game and not being able to save your work that you've worked so hard for, all your progress, you were able to save it. So, I mean, the game console was just amazing. It was just full of light, baby. Full of light, you know. And me and my brothers had a blast on there. Me and my cousins, especially my cousins. When they came over and we had, like, family, like, get-together, like, barbecues and stuff, we were like, hey, man, pop on that 007, man. We gonna get to work. We play Golden Gun. We shooting each other with that single-shot, one-hitter quitter pistol. You know what I mean? Pistol whipping each other, shooting each other in the face, pistol whipping each other, shooting each other, just going back and forth. And then also playing Rampage, where you destroyed buildings as these creatures, and you could eat people, all kind of craziness, right? That, and then not to mention, when it came down to it, we used to play Mortal Kombat 4. We used to take turns trying to play single player on there. Yeah, when we weren't whooping each other's behinds in the multiplayer, which was just a 1v1, you know. My main was Reptile, just saying. But needless to say, the game console had variety of games to play, and till this day, I still think it was probably one of my second favorites, you know, or I can't even say that. It's just the Nintendo consoles are just so great. It's hard to like categorize what you could be number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One. Number one, to me, will always be my Nintendo Entertainment System because it started me. But I mean, it's kind of hard because all these consoles are so great and lovely. But anyways, with that said, man, leave a comment in the comment section below, sharing me your experience of whatever Nintendo 64 you had, whether if you had the special edition, if you had played Pokemon Snap. I know some of y'all play Pokemon Snap or Pokemon Stadium, etc., etc. Let me know what your favorite game was on there, what you enjoyed about it. Make sure to share this video. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. I will see y'all in the next one. Y'all have a happy Sunday. Your boy RePPiN MiLLionS out of here. 1.